What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter from Panda. I want to see if I can treat some rust quickly and easily with this. Alright, so I have some rust around various places, hinges, exposed metal, and I wanted to try this. It's by Permatex, and it's a rust treatment, and what I was looking for is something that was not only a rust inhibitor, but a rust stopper, a Caesar, essentially. And I've tried some stuff in the past, but this got some pretty good reviews, so I wanted to give this a shot here. Now, what it says is it destroys rust on contact, and more than anything, I just am looking for a convenient way to treat the rust, seal it up, and not have to go back to it. I'm not looking to primer it and paint it or anything like that, just to kind of prevent anything that's corroding from corroding too badly. Now, because of the rust that I'm treating, some of it's in really hard to reach places. So I found these screws here. These have been on car license plates, and they are really corroded. These two aren't as corroded badly as this one, but you can see here we have lots of surface rust all the way down in the threads. And then this one is even worse, if I can show that to you. Look at that. I mean, I don't even know that this is a usable screw because the grooves are so rusted out here. I wish I had a bigger piece of metal so that I could see what happens to the rust. I'm hoping that the Permatex here, when it hits the rust, will kind of turn black, will kind of combine with the rust here to create a barrier and seize the rust. And for those places, like whether it's on suspension or door hinges or outdoor equipment, I have a lot of little places on hinges like snowblowers and tillers and things like that, that I just want to make sure that little rust spots don't become big ones. So let's go ahead and hit these with this. I got this in a 2-pack, and it's not very expensive, and see what it does. All right, it says to apply some thin coats here, 2 or 3 of them. I am just gonna hit these like this. Actually, it's nice because it's moving the screw around here, which means I'm gonna get some nice coverage. It does come with rubber gloves, which is also nice. It says on the instructions that'll prevent staining of the hands, but just want to hit these here and then come back and see what they look like. So now that we've hit these, basically what it says to do here is just let them dry a couple of minutes and then hit them with another thin coat. So I'll probably do that 2 more times here and just see what it looks like in the end. One more. All right, it's been about 10 minutes or so since I put on my last coat, and they're sitting out here in the sun. It's a warm day, so they're pretty dried up. Now, one of the things that I wanted to look at here is them after the treatment, you know, without any type of post-treatment. I'm not scrubbing these, I'm not wiping them down, I'm not even spraying them with water or anything like that. I wanted to look at them in their raw, finished state after that rust treatment. And the reason is because where I'm going to use this, I can't really get a brush in to pre-scrub them or anything like that, and I'm not looking to make them beautiful. I just want to make sure that things are going to stay kind of rust free for as long as possible. So what we can see here, let me just start with this one. The screw cap here looks pretty good. It doesn't remove the rust, but it's like much darker. You can see it's kind of very dark red, and that seems to me, I've kind of dried them off here. They have a little gloss to them, so hopefully it's kind of adhered or bonded with that rust to create a little protective barrier. They don't feel as gritty, one. And then in the threads there, you can see how much darker that is. So it's almost kind of looks like, you know, when things are really rusted, like a block of iron or something like that. So that's the one screw. These weren't as bad as the last screw, and very similar finish here. Like I said, it looks wet, but it's not. Kind of cleans them up a little bit and shines them up. So I feel like that's pretty good. Now this one was by far the worst of the 3 screws, and you can see here how much darker it is. It's almost like a black, almost like a charcoal color, and I like that. I don't feel like things are flaking off here, and I don't feel like that's like that really orange colored rust that's going to continue to be bad. So for the metal parts that I want to treat with this, I think this is going to work. It kind of turns it dark. It's going to be really hard to give you kind of a long-term evaluation of this, but I don't know. I feel like that's better. I feel like that's pretty seized up. So after 3 hits of this, over the course of about 5 or 6 minutes maybe, and then 10, 15 minutes of drying, this is what it looks like. So I'm pretty impressed with this. If you want to pick up a can of this, I got them in a 2-pack, and they came with rubber gloves. I think a pretty good deal. Keep things from rusting any worse. Check it out. I'll put a link to it in the description. Peter von Panda, out.